Hello everyone, and I do hope everyone is well. Of course, we're a bit late with the weekly review, but I hope that I'm finding you well. This is Unicorn Astro, Athena for everyone, and we're here to examine and talk a bit about the week of the 15th until the 21st of March 2021. And as you can see, I've changed a bit of the decor. I'm hoping that you like it. And of course I have the cards spread because I don't want you to wait for me to do them at the first time. And of course, as I make the Greek one first and the English speaking one second, I usually do have them ready. But do let me know how you like it, if you prefer another decor, if you prefer that I actually do the cards with you watching, however you prefer it. And if you would like me to do the tarot first and the Astro second, but it's up to you. Just let me know if you are interested in making an opinion, in saying your opinion on that. So we're starting with the 15th of March, which is yesterday, of course. And the thing is that the angles that we're talking about from Monday, except for the moon, they are in effect for the whole of the week almost. Because the sextile between the Sun and Pluto, for once, is active for almost the whole of the week. As I've said before, the angles of the planets are getting energized when the planet comes into the area of effect of the other planet, and the tension rises as they go nearer in any angle. And that threshold is at 8 degrees before and 8 degrees after. Of course, as the planets go closer in any aspect, they get more effects on, and as they go away from each other, the tensions are getting lower. So this sextile between the Sun and Pluto, I'm feeling that it's bringing out a more transformative energy. And as I've spoken before of the inner world coming out, of how is it that we call it, of whatever is inside us coming to the surface, I do believe that at this time it's the time that we see what treasures, what gems, what diamonds we have and how we can use them. So we can see what is shining and how we can actually bring it into the light and work with it. What else is there? On Monday, of course, we had the moon in Aries, and the moon was in conjunction to Chiron and in a sextile to the North Node. And it feels like, of course, it's helping us heal things. It's helping us to heal things. But it's also about pointing out what is the reason we are here. What is our purpose here? What is that we want to do here? The other aspect I would like to talk about is the Venus in a conjunction to Neptune. And that, to me, brings up a more fantasy world, as in our imagination, our manifestation, our power of dreaming is coming alive. So it's the whole week I feel that we're kind of feeling like this, as the Venus is kind of going away from the reaction of Neptune, And as I know it, at least Neptune is kind of the higher octave of Venus. It's kind of allowing us to raise our vibrations, to express our feelings, our dreams, to reach a higher octave ourselves. I'm feeling that this week it's a very transformative week. It's a very metamorphosizing week, if I can say this. And it's a week that we may be feeling a tension and anger about things that have happened or that have happened to us or to others, and about the whole oppressive feeling that we get for the whole last year. Because don't forget that we're having a whole year right now. These days, for some countries and earlier for some others, it was the days that everyone went into a lockdown. So it feels like we're actually getting a bit more, how do we call it? If not rebellious, at least we are reacting to that. And we're reacting to every kind of oppression. And I feel that this happens because Lilith is getting activated, and Lilith is in Taurus. And it feels like Lilith is bringing up whatever oppressive feeling we had, whatever rebellious feeling that we kept in and we kept under wraps, and it's coming out against everything, against the patriarchy, against police, against laws that are unfair, against everything. And that possibly happens as Lilith is in a square with a bit of relaxing square, if I can say that. It's a distance of 3 degrees, or it was a distance of 3 degrees on Monday, with the judging planet, with Jupiter. So that kind of thing can bring up a lot of justice things, a lot of things regarding the laws and the police and the oppression that is happening everywhere. On Tuesday, today, I feel that I will be able to upload it today as well. The Mercury is crossing into Pisces, and I know that many astrologers and many people say that Mercury in Pisces is not a very good placement for Mercury. But I do feel that Mercury in Pisces is being about expressing our emotions, is being about expressing our intuition, about opening up our intuition, opening up to our intuition, to our instincts, to whatever the inner side of us is feeling, and being able to express it to the world. It's about dreams, it's about expressing our imagination, it's about bringing things into the world that we live in through manifestation. That's the feeling I'm getting with this Piscean Mercury. And of course we're having the moon in Aries still, and Mars is sextiling Chiron, Mars from Gemini and Chiron from Aries. And I do feel that this angle is going to help us to put some power into our healing. Because Chiron is the wounded healer, and I feel that in Aries is bringing out things that we need to heal. And as it's going to spend quite a long time in Aries, I feel, and I think, if I'm not very wrong, I do feel that it's going to bring up things from our early childhood, from the very inner walls of ours, from the very past of us, to come up and to be solved, to be healed, to be released. And this week with Mars on a sextile with Chiron, it feels to me that we're giving ourselves permission and we're actually allowing our energy to go deep inside and to shed light, to bring things up, to be able to heal things that have happened before and that have wounded us in a very deep soul level. What else is happening? And we're going into Wednesday with the moon crossing on to Taurus and of course making a conjunction with not Neptune, of course, Neptune is in Pisces, but she's making a conjunction with Uranus and Lilith, and of course a square to Saturn and Jupiter. And I feel that on Wednesday, because of these angles of the moon, and with the sun still in a sextile to Pluto, it's a very transformative day from the inside out. It's a day that to me it feels that things are going to be explosive. Things are going to come up that we haven't expected to come up. It's a rebellion brewing, and I do feel that it's coming up to a crescendo this week. And with Lilith conjuncting the moon, it's going to be about our feelings and our emotions getting up and being exploded. And I feel as the moon is squaring Saturn and Jupiter, it's going to be a bit more about our emotional laws, the emotional order, and how the major truth about humanity is to do no harm to others. And that doctrine, I will say, you can find it in almost every religion. You can find it from the ancient times until every religion, I think, without having searched every religion, that is giving out love, that is teaching love. I feel that you will find, and I believe you will find, the doctrine of do no harm. And the healers of humanity, the doctors, on the oath that they give the same oath of the first thing they vow on is to do no harm. And I do feel that at this week it's about this. It's about allowing ourselves to go deep within, to find that wound that is still hurting us, to find that possible sliver of glass or wood that is stuck there, and be able to pour light, pour alcohol, and take off the sliver, take off the glass, take off the wood, and actually release the pain. I do believe that with the Sun in a sextile to Pluto and with Mars in a sextile to Chiron, it's going to be about liberating ourselves from the pain and possibly liberating ourselves from manipulative people and situations. And I'm saying this because on Friday, because Thursday continues with the same motives, of course, Friday we're having, in addition to everything else, the moon in Gemini and in a square to Mercury. So we're going to be able to express our emotions, to express our truth. And I feel that it's a good time to offer that, to allow our truth to come out. I do feel it's a very good time to do that and to allow the healing. Also, we have the Venus in a sextile to Pluto, and that's that I feel, as Venus is in Pisces, that is going to be about manipulation. I feel that the power of Pluto meeting with the how we call it, the softness and the sensitivity of Venus in Pisces, this watery emotionality, this watery sensitivity, this watery softness, is meeting with Pluto that is digging deep into the caverns of Capricorn, into the mountain of Capricorn for me. And as they meet, it's going to bring up all the suppressed emotion that we haven't been able to release and get it released. I feel that it's the day that we can actually try to release the anger, release the pain, release everything that we've been holding to and we've been holding in, and release ourselves from manipulative people and situations, and also to check where we have been manipulating people and where we have been allowing manipulation in any situation we've created to happen. So it's a very deep week to solve matters of deep emotional wounds and to solve matters about manipulation as well. It's a week to liberate ourselves. I'm not quite sure how people will express the Venus sextile Pluto. I do feel that they will speak about jealousy or about power games or about these kind of things, but I feel that it's an angle and it's an aspect that will lead us to examine where we have been or where we have been manipulating others and where we have been allowing others to manipulate us. I feel that it's a week and a day for the balance between narcissistic people and victims, and where we check and we find out where we have been the narcissists and where we have played the victims, because that's the balance of these two powers. And we finally make ourselves realize that we can be neither of them, that we can actually be equals to each other, that we don't need to manipulate others for us to be okay, that we don't need to blame others for things that we needed to learn or for things that we needed to grow from in order to say that someone has hurt us, in order to say that we have no responsibility over things. I believe this whole time is about us taking responsibility for actions, for feelings, for vibrations, for emotions, for everything. And we're going to the weekend with the moon in Gemini and the sun on Saturday being on the last degree of Pisces, as we're crossing into the spring equinox, spring equinox, where we have the sun and moon, the light and dark, the day and night in a balance. So it's a very balanced weekend, I feel. And as the sun is at the end of Pisces, it might be a bit more watery, it might be a bit more emotional, it might be a bit more about expressing our inner landscapes and our inner emotional states and what we feel. Allow it to happen and cleanse yourselves. It's a very good day to actually allow yourself to be cleansed from the inside out. I would even suggest making a small ritual on what you're leaving behind from the previous year. Think on where you have been last year on the spring equinox and find out how you've spent this year, how you've come to the end of this year in order to start the new year, as we're crossing on to the new year of Aries and the Sun in Aries. And with the trine between Mars and Saturn, I feel that it's a very good day to actually put power and put energy and do something about the things that we're planning. It's a good weekend to actually finish what you've started last year and to prepare for what's coming on the next year. Of course, on the 21st, we're having the new year of the astrology, the new year of Earth, the new year of the seasons, with the Sun crossing into Aries. The Moon, of course, is still in Gemini and making a trine to Jupiter. And I feel that it's a very good day to actually start something new, to actually clean the house, to actually put a small stone into something that you want to start with the new year. As the moon is still getting into the fullness of it for the 28th, it's a good time to start building something, to look at what you wanted to build on the new moon and what you wanted to start. Cleanse yourselves, as the Sun is at the end of Pisces on Saturday, and for Sunday start anew with the Sun in Aries. Allow yourselves to be, if not baptized, if baptized is not the good word, the perfect word for it, allow yourselves to be filled with the energy of the Sun, to be filled with the energy of the rushing Aries that wants to do things, that wants to run, that wants to start things, that wants to lead the way into the new year, because that's what Aries does. He makes us go into the new year. And of course for Sunday we have the Venus on the last degree of Pisces, as is crossing over from next week into it's crossing into next week into Aries as well. So it's a good day, good weekend to cleanse, to not allow but welcome the new astrological year, to welcome Aries in the zodiac, to welcome the Sun entering Aries and entering us into the spring, to celebrate one more year, to celebrate the new year. So that's the astrological part of this week, and I do feel that it's quite a long time that I've spoken, and we're crossing on to the tarot part. Okay, and we're starting to explore the tarot of the week, which is a very nice spread, I feel, as it's speaking about balance, it's speaking about healing, it's speaking about completion, about fullness, about society, if I actually speak it correctly and pronounce it correctly. And we're starting with, of course, the card of Aries, the Emperor. And I feel that it's speaking about, of course, the Sun in Aries crossing onto it, but also about, in a way, Pluto in Capricorn, where it's kind of feeling of a leader, the feeling of someone starting things, the feeling of things being revealed, the feeling of power as well. I do feel that with the Empress at the end, and you'll find, of course, that I have 6 cards in a whole, And that's because we were finishing with the Three of Swords, the 5th card, but I was feeling that we needed a bit more of an explanation. So I asked for one more card and the Empress came up, and it's Venus, of course. And it feels to me that starting with the Emperor and finishing with the Empress, it's speaking about balance. It's speaking about the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. Exactly as the astrology of the week goes, things are finishing into Pisces and are starting again into Aries. The Emperor here speaks about leadership, speaks about the fire to start things, the fire to cleanse what happened, what came before, and the power to bring forth a new life. The Queen of Cups next, I feel, is speaking about the truth that needs to be revealed, the cleansing of our souls, the cleansing of our bodies, the cleansing of our emotions, the cleansing of our houses. And also the transformation of waters, the transformation of our feelings, the coming up of our intuition, the coming up of our imagination, the manifestation that we're bringing into the world. Of course, these two are very, very powerful starters for the tarot. And then we're having the Eight of Swords, speaking about interference and about Jupiter into Gemini. What I do feel about this one is that it's about release. It's about finding our courage to speak out our truth. It's about allowing ourselves to speak the truth. It's about not allowing others to oppress us. And in a way, it's also about finding not the courage only, but of finding the way to speak so that you don't cut others and you don't manipulate others. It's about releasing yourselves from manipulation. I feel it's about cleansing yourselves and finding your own truth and coming up with your truths. That's the feeling I'm getting with this. Of course, the next part, and as we're getting cleansed and the fire and water is transforming the metal into a new form, we're having the Ten of Cups, and that's Mars in Pisces, and it's speaking about society. Satiety, I cannot remember, but I do know it's about completion. It's about feeling full. It's about not needing something more because everything is in order. And the Ten of Cups speaks about that feeling of you don't need anymore, of all your emotions being full of happiness, full of all your needs are, how we say it, that you don't feel that you need anything to be happy, that you are happy already. Of course, that feeling of happiness, that feeling of completion, that feeling of... Hey again, and I'm sorry for the disruption. As I was saying, this feeling of completion is, as always, coming up with a feeling of sorrow, that you cannot have a good time without having to pay it with something darker happening. That has been the point for many of us, I feel, that for something, we have a saying in Greek that there's nothing bad happening without something good coming out of it. And for some people, or for the majority that I have met at least, things are coming up the other way as well, that you cannot have happiness without being bittersweet for some reason. But it feels like this is the wound that needs to be healed. And it's an interesting part that the Three of Swords is being followed by the number 3 of the major arcana, and that is the Empress. The Empress. And it speaks about cycles of the moon as well. It speaks about motherhood. It speaks about nutrition. It speaks about raising your vibration. It speaks about Venus, and that's about values, that's about love, that's about love for yourself most of all. So I feel that by healing the wound that is deeper in you, you can actually find your happiness without it being something that you can lose in a spur of the moment kind of thing. The oracle card of the week is the U, that speaks about being the gateway to your transformation. I did read a bit on it on the notes of Zoe Hind, and you can find, of course, Zoe Hind on the net, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. She makes some amazing videos weekly, and this one speaks about transformation, speaks about the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It is the tree of the druids. It is the tree of the holy grounds of the druids. And I feel it speaks about the balance of life. It speaks about the shedding of the skin. And in some ways, this week, with the sun crossing into Aries, it is about shedding our skin. It is about waking up in a new day. It speaks about, it is about a reawakening. So see how that goes for you, and let me know in the comments if you want. And I hope that I will see you again at some point next week. Take care, and thank you again. Have a very nice spring equinox. Enjoy the spring, enjoy the new year of astrology. Thank you.